Welcome. Today we are diving into one of the most exciting new frontiers in technology, AI automation engineering. This isn't just about writing code, it's about building intelligent systems that can perceive, reason, and act. We'll start by defining what this role actually entails and how it differs from traditional software engineering.
Today I'll be showing you how to begin automating away your tasks with the power of AI. Just like so, I'll be creating a super basic 3-step automation where we use the power of ChatGPT to complete some of your work. The example I'll be using here is a simple email subject line generation, but by following these steps, I'm confident you'll be able to create hundreds of others. So let's get into it. Step 1, we'll be heading over to Zapier.com, a no-code automation tool that makes this super user-friendly. You're going to need an account here, so just click sign up, and I personally use Google to log in. Here I am inside of my account. The main thing you need to know is that every single automation task is calculated as one zap. So as you can see right here, I used up 399 zaps this month. So the first few weeks are free and then you need to pay for this. But what you're paying for is quite powerful because if I go up here and click create zap, I'm creating a brand new automation that is going to run 24/7 and complete everything that triggers it. And that brings me to the first point. You need to understand the concept of a trigger. Think of it as a row of dominoes. The trigger is the first one. It's what sets the whole thing in motion. So in our case, we'll pick one of my favorite and most universal triggers. We're going to set it up so that every time I drag and drop a new file into a folder on my computer, it's going to start the automation. In my case, we'll do that with Dropbox because that's what I use, but you could use Google Drive or any other of the 5,000 plus apps that trigger Zapier. Okay, so as I have the Dropbox app installed, I have all these folders locally, and what I'll do is I'll just go into my AutoHub AI Advantage here. This is where I manage some of my automations. So in here, I'll just say new folder, and I'll just say YouTube test, and very simple, in here I'll create 2 folders, one which I'll call Drop Zone Emails, and I called it that because that's where we're going to be dropping the emails into, and the second one is called Subject Lines, and that's where I want AI to generate some subject lines based on the emails I put here. Okay, so that's the plan and the theory, but now let's turn this into reality. So as mentioned, first we need the trigger to let the software know, hey, it's time to start the automation. And the event that will be making that happen is, first of all, Dropbox right here. And here's my first beginner tip. You always just go top to bottom. So right here, you see Dropbox that we just selected. That's perfect. Next up, we need to pick the event that is going to be triggering this. And conveniently so, I'll just say new file in folder. So when a new file in a folder appears, this automation starts. Say continue, and we need to choose an account. Now I linked it multiple times, but this is the account that I use. I'll click continue. Okay, and again, top to bottom, we're just gonna pick what's necessary. So first of all, this is my team space, not on my personal one, so this is just something I know. And then when I head to folder, I just need to navigate to the correct folder, which is in the AutoHub AI Advantage. And then inside of there, we can already see the YouTube test, perfect. And in here, remember, this is the trigger that starts the automation. So we want the trigger to start when a new file in the Dropbox folder appears. And the folder that I wanna use to trigger this automation is the Drop Zone Emails, right? So that's essentially it. I can just click continue. And now we could move on to setting up our actions, but I always like to test my automations. So what I'm going to do for that, I'm just going to take one of these random AI generated emails in a text file, and I'm just going to put
To understand the how behind the what, we need to look at the generative AI tech stack. From the infrastructure layer to the application layer, understanding this ecosystem is crucial for building scalable solutions. Let's look at how LLMs integrate with traditional automation workflows. An explanation of the different layers of the AI stack, including infrastructure, models, and orchestration. Moving beyond simple chatbots, the real power of AI automation lies in agents. These are autonomous entities that can use tools to accomplish complex goals. Let's explore the architecture of AI agents and how they function as the brain of automation. Dr. Andrew Ng breaks down the concept of agentic workflows and why they represent the next big leap in AI productivity. Every great AI engineer needs a toolkit. Low-code and no-code platforms like Make.com and N8N have become essential for rapid prototyping and connecting different AI services. Let's see how these orchestration tools work in a real-world environment. A deep dive into using orchestration platforms to connect LLMs with external APIs and databases to build functional automations. Data is the fuel for AI, but how do we give an AI memory of your specific business data? This is where RAG, or Retrieval Augmented Generation, comes in. It is perhaps the most important architectural pattern for automation engineers today. A clear explanation of Retrieval Augmented Generation, RAG, and how vector databases allow AI to access and use private data. We've covered a lot of ground, from the definition of the role to the complex architecture of agentic workflows and RAG. As an AI automation engineer, your goal is to bridge the gap between model intelligence and business utility. Keep experimenting, stay curious, and start building. Welcome to this course on Python for automation. Today, we're shifting from writing basic code to building scripts that actually do work for you. We'll start by looking at how Python can interact with your computer's file system to automate the organizing and moving of files. Learn how to use the OS and shuttle modules to navigate directories, rename batches of files, and manage your local storage automatically. Moving beyond file names, let's talk about the data inside those files. CSV and Excel files are the backbone of most business operations. Python's built-in CSV module and libraries like OpenPyXL make it incredibly easy to scrape, edit, and generate spreadsheets without ever opening Excel manually. A deep dive into working with Excel spreadsheets using Python, inspired by the book Automate the Boring Stuff. While manual file handling is great, the real power of Python lies in pandas. This is the industry standard library for data manipulation. It treats your data like a giant, supercharged spreadsheet called a data frame, allowing you to filter thousands of rows of data in a single line of code. An intuitive introduction to the pandas library, focusing on once your data is in a data frame, you need to clean it. Real-world data is messy, it has missing values, duplicates, and incorrect formatting. We'll now explore how to use pandas. Learn how to handle missing values, drop unnecessary columns, and clean up messy datasets using pandas. Automation isn't just about local files, it's about the web. Web scraping allows you to pull data from websites automatically. Using Beautiful Soup, we can turn a complex HTML page into a structured dataset in seconds. A beginner-friendly guide to web scraping using Beautiful Soup to extract information from websites. Now that you have the tools to move files, clean data, and scrape the web, you're ready to start building your own custom workflows. Remember, the best automation project is the one that solves a problem you face every single day. Happy coding! Welcome. To automate anything effectively, you need to understand the platform where your code lives, the operating system. In this first segment, we're going to dive into what an OS actually does, from managing hardware to providing the resources your scripts need to run. An overview of operating systems, kernels, and how they bridge the gap between hardware and software. Now that you understand the OS, let's look at one of the most powerful tools for automation, the command line interface. Whether you use Linux, Windows, or Mac OS, the terminal is your direct line of communication to the system's core. A beginner-friendly introduction to why the Linux terminal is essential for automation and how to start using it. Moving beyond a single machine, we need to understand how computers talk to each other. This starts with the OSI model, the universal language of networking that allows different systems to exchange data reliably. A clear, visual breakdown of the 7-layer OSI model and how data travels across a network. With the framework in place, let's look at the actual protocols that drive the Internet and automation, TCP/IP. We'll explore how IP addresses move data to the right house, and how ports ensure it reaches the right door or application. An animated guide to TCP/IP, subnets, and the concept of ports and sockets in networking. Modern automation often happens in containers. Instead of running a whole OS for every task, we use tools like Docker to package applications. This is a game changer for consistency across different environments. A fast-paced explanation of Docker, containers, and why they revolutionized how we deploy automated services. We've covered a lot today, from the kernel of your OS to the packets flying across the wire. Remember, automation is simply the art of orchestrating these OS resources and network paths. Keep practicing in your terminal, and I'll see you in the next lesson.